and it's the 14th day of June 2025, a Saturday that we could have been at weddings eating chicken, but we decided to come and talk about AI here, which is a good thing. All right, so we apologize for starting in an hour later than originally scheduled. And we will be talking about everything artificial intelligence. So we'll take an opening remarks in a bit from Philip, who is going to be giving us an opening remarks to tell us exactly why we're all gathered in this room. We'll move from there to look at a recap of the Google I/O. Now, when they are going to talk about Google I/O, for those of us who don't know, that is where Google literally tells us every single thing in stock for that particular year and the years going ahead. We're going to be having that firsthand. So without much ado, I'll read out all of this, but first, let me bring all the way from the University of Buckingham, the person who is leading their learning and development in computing, ladies and gentlemen, our own Philip Obiora, who works as a learning development coach in computing at the University of Buckingham. His main research interests are machine learning, generative AI, natural language processing, and applied data science. Because I know him personally, I've seen him work, and I've seen him do a lot of things. He used to call himself a software developer and programmer, a software engineer, sorry, and program manager. Literally, that's all he will tell you about himself. So you just say, I'm a software engineer. He will rather not even give you anything, just say, I'm a software engineer. Ladies and gentlemen, to tell us and to give us a recap of what the Google I/O is and walk us through a bit about what we are sharing here today. Can we put our hands together as a welcome to give us a Google I/O recap and the technical workshop guidelines so we can start the event in earnest. Please put your hands together as we celebrate and make welcome Caleb Duff. Keep celebrating him until he makes his way here. Keep celebrating him. I think say no go change the cap. We'll go snap you, put them for online. All right. Thank you so much, Caleb. Just tell us a bit about the recap on the Google I/O 2025, and then the guidelines for this very workshop. Sorry, he has to tie that in. I'd wait till they give him inspiration. Aha. Please put your hands together for him once again.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I can't find my slides, by the way. Okay, so before we talk about the Google I/O recap, I want us to do one of the basic necessity that you need to do before we proceed to the code labs of which you are here for. So please just go to switch. Go. Just keep going. Okay, go back. Okay, so I think I can start from here, then we'll switch over to... Okay, so how many of you are familiar with Google I/O? Google I/O, like Google I/O event. You are familiar with it? Who else familiar with Google I/O event? Okay, so what do they do at Google I/O event?
Yeah, Google I/O event. It's a global event where Google announced their latest products relating to cloud, AI, Android, and Firebase and other products.
Thank you very much. So basically, Google I/O is a global event where Google gets to, tell the global audience about their products, their new products, add-ons to previous products, and the ones that in development or the ones that they are rolling out. So for this particular year, we're just going to talk about the key takeaways from Google I/O 2025, please. Next. So one of the okay, please just go. Yes. Okay. So one of the things Google announced during the Google I/O event was their Gemini 2.5 model advancement. So during the Google I/O event, Google introduced or made this announcement that they are pushing out their Gemini 2.5 Pro and also the 2.5 Flash models, for which have enhanced reasoning built on cognitive modeling, excel in complex reasoning and mathematics. So these are basically some of the things that Google rolled out. Gemini 2.5 model, please, next slide. Um, yes, Google added the AI mode in search for people in the US. They are yet to roll that out to the global audience. But during the IU, they said in the coming months, they will make the AI mode in search where you get to search. When you're making your search, you can make your search using the AI mode, and the AI mode will help you maybe shopping in using the AI mode where the AI agentic models will help you to do what's it called? Checkout capabilities for seamless shopping experience. They also had the virtual try-on to search live in AI mode and lens. Please. Yeah, they also had the Android XL, XR, and smart glasses. If you watch that Google I/O event where you put on a glass and you're communicating as if the other person is, yeah. So, and they had the canvas where they introduced AI about the canvas where they introduced AI about integration of Gemini 2.5 Pro into the Google AI Studio, which was not there, and the obviously Gemini 2.5 Pro is an advanced model. I think that's like Google's top rated model. They also had the MI what's it called, the kit. You sure how many of you here are developers? Okay. You know, people that build houses, real estate are developers too. I'm just asking, how many of us are like developers? Now, so you could do that right on Firebase or Google AI Studio. What do you think happens to you? Sorry? No more jobs. You should be concerned though. Is there no more jobs? She said she's not scared. So I don't know who else. You're not scared. Why? So basically, I think me, I'm not scared actually, but I think what will separate the sheep from the goat is if you're a front end developer, as it, you must speak it very well. True of us, you must know it very well and how to implement it, how to make it work for you. Because as I'm telling you, people are losing their jobs because of AI. But then some other persons are getting jobs. So who are the people getting jobs? Sorry? Yeah, the people that understand how to use the AI to their own advantage on their current jobs. I'm telling you, people are losing jobs. True of us, gift. Practicing. Are you getting me? So I'm just going to show you how to reclaim those resources so that when the code labs starts, right, you will not get to be asking me, this thing is not working because I don't have access to Google resources. Are we good? So please, just go to the next slide. So, okay, so, no, go. So if you can go on your system, yeah, go to your browser, please type this code on your browser. Did you give some persons? Okay, some persons have. Okay, okay, that's fine. Thank you, Obum. Eh? Okay, so if you don't have access to the Google Cloud Credit, of which our brother had helped us do that, so just go to this link. If you don't, if you know you don't have access to Google Cloud Credits, let me see your hand. Wow, you don't. You don't. Please just go to the link, please. You have access to. Huh? Okay. You have access to. Please, the next few minutes is just so that you have this credit so that we can officially start. So, okay. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, so please, the next slide. So once you go to this link, you will see. Go to the next slide. You see something like this with your email showing here. You click here to access your credits. Yeah. Once you do this, please, the next slide. It will pop up. This page will pop up. That's the GCP credit application. You click on accept and continue. Then you should get this small modal that shows at the bottom saying credit successfully applied. And once it is applied, please go to the next slide. Yes, you will set up a billing account for this project. So basically, the billing account you're going to see is this one, Google Cloud Platform Trial Billing Account. Just set account so that in the subsequent projects they are going to be working on, when they ask you to select a billing account, you just choose the Google Cloud Platform Trial Billing Account. Do you, huh? you, you fight your network. Okay. You have yours, right? You have
low code tool that I use is Webflow because Okay, an example of a low-code tool that I use is Webflow. Yes, I use it to build websites as a web designer, but even though I can still be able to extract the code I would want the project to be like. So,
Sorry, did we hear him? We did not hear. All right, that will be $5 for me to explain. You're all techies now, all of them get money. Sure. You guys have all these dollars, these pounds, and stuff like that. The dolls. Okay. He mentioned that one of the low-code tools that he uses, no code or low code? No codes. So low, okay. So he said one of the low-code tools he uses is Webflow. And he uses them to build websites and applications. Basically, what he loves about it is how simple it is and how he can effectively extract the codes that are built on that platform and also maybe tweak it to suit what he's trying to build. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Thank you. Now, I'd like to take another shot before we bring in the person who is going to, our first speaker, to lead us on the code lab. And I'll prefer a lady this time around. I believe in gender parity. Anybody? No codes, low codes, any of them. The ladies in the house. Where are my taxis? Really? No way. I'm handing over the microphone to somebody. We must know. All right. I'll go to someone who is not looking at me. So you know where I'm going to.
WordPress. I like the fact that I could just put things together and just create something without writing codes.
Please, can we put our hands together for her? WordPress. And now, WordPress has an AI embedded. Everything has an AI embedded. The only thing I haven't seen an AI embedded is Nigerian food yet, the jollof rice particularly. But chances are it might come, right? So we have AI in literally everything we do today. So it's something we should be looking at for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of our time, for one of time, please celebrate everybody who spoke to us. Please put your hands together for the two persons who spoke to us. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to be bringing in someone who is very skilled in front-end development. So she's a front-end developer and a technical writer with a passion for blockchain, particularly, and AI. She contributes to blogs like FreeCodeCamp and Open Replay, sharing valuable insights and tutorials. A multi-hackathon winner, I mean, like, she's a hackathonia, if I have to put that out. She's known for creating innovative solutions, and as a content advisory board member of Log Racket, she helps review high-quality tech content dedicated to open source, and of course, actively contributing to various projects and frequently speaks at tech events, just like we are going to be having her speak to us here today. She's inspiring and educating the community along the way of her journey. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, she's going to be speaking to us on how to have a hands-on section on introduction of Google AI Studio and Gemini API for developers. So she's going to be dealing with Google AI Studio and how you can also integrate the Gemini API for developers. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands, you didn't leave them at home, can we put them together for gifts? Who here now? Is she coming here? Okay. By all means, anywhere you choose. Even if you choose to stay outside, they will still listen and hear. All right. Please celebrate Gift Uhene once again.
So this is going to be a hands-on section. Get ready to use your system. We are going to be working live together, and don't hesitate to ask questions if you're stuck. And before we get started with the workshop, I wanted to make a few points. Before we get started with the workshop, I wanted to make a few points just to connect with you guys as a fellow developer, because when Caleb asks how many developers are you guys as a fellow developer, because when Caleb asks how many developers are here, there were a lot of hands up. So yeah, I want us to connect. A lot of hands up. So yeah, I want us to connect. So yeah, let me make a few points. Let me make a few points. I taking this workshop. I'm having this workshop with you guys because there's an excess of developers, and if you're on social media all the time, if you're following different everywhere, at this point you can't even avoid it anymore. Everywhere at this point you can't even avoid it anymore. So this is the documentation. This is the link that we're supposed to have access to. Do we have access to it, or should I go back to the QR code? Okay. Can we start now? So almost everybody has access to this documentation. All right. Okay, let's get started. So once again, welcome to this technical workshop on introduction to Google AI Studio and Gemini API for developers. But if you're not a developer, don't worry. I'm not really going too deep technically, and everyone can use the tools that are here today. So before I get started with the workshop, I want to do a brief introduction, or should I say definition, to the tools we're using today. So Google AI Studio is a web-based tool that you can use to interact with Google's Gemini API and other LLMs available on the platform. So I want you to think of it as a user-friendly playground where you can prototype and build applications, but you can do way more beyond that. You can also do image generation or video generation. Then Gemini API, let me scroll up. Gemini API is Google's programming interface that allows developers to communicate with Gemini AI models. So it's easy to think of it as a bridge that connects developers' code to the advanced capabilities of Gemini. So now I've defined these tools. Let's just get started. So for you to participate in this workshop, you need your laptop, you need a Google account, and you need internet connection. So make sure you have a strong internet connection and a Google account. So if you have access to the documentation, please click on the link there and sign up for Google AI Studio. I already have an account, so just click on the link and sign up for Google AI Studio. While we're doing that, if you've used Google AI Studio before, can I see your hands? Can I see a show of hands? If you've made use of this tool before, Google AI Studio. Okay, I see about 3 people. So this is the application. When you create an account and you see this interface, let me know so we can start this workshop properly. Access to Google AI Studio now. Can I see a show of hands so I know when to start? My friends in front, do you have access to Google AI Studio now? Internet network. You have access to AI Studio. Okay. Can I see your hands? Let me know if I can start. If you have access to Google AI Studio, if you're with your system and you have access to it. Okay, I think we can get started. So if you're on Google AI Studio, just look at the screen and watch what I do. So on the left panel, hi everyone. Can we pay attention, please? People at the back. Thank you. So on the left panel, even if you're not with your laptop, you can still follow up with us. On the left panel, you'll notice there are different prompt interfaces. So currently, we are on the chat prompt interface. This is where you can communicate with the Gemini model directly in form of chatting. And then over here, we have the stream interface. Here, if you want to communicate with Gemini live, you can communicate here live. So you can pass your audio to Gemini. You can also enable your webcam, that's your camera, for Gemini to see what you wanted to see. You can also share your laptop screen. Then over here, we have generate media. So this is where you want to create content that is not text. For example, images or videos. So Google has the imaging, that's this one my cursor is over. It generates high quality images. Then there's also the VO. VO is used for generating videos and animating images. Then over here we have Lyra. This is for audio or music. Then in the build section, this is the developer's playground. So over here, this is where you can build applications. You can build applications by prompting Gemini. You can also take a look at some of the applications in this showcase. And you also have access to your own applications or recent applications you visited. So since this is the first time of visiting this application, you won't have any apps under your apps section. So now let's go back to the chat section. So here, if you want to communicate with Gemini, you're going to put in a chat and then click on the run button. So one important thing about the Gemini LLM is to understand that it is multimodal. So when I say multimodal, I mean that it can recognize different types of prompts. So it recognizes text, it recognizes audio, files, images, and it can even upload full folders to it. So if you click on the plus button over here, you can see all the media files that you can give to the Gemini model. So over here to the right, so let me zoom in. We have some settings that you can play around with. So one of the advantages of using the Google AI Studio is that you can fine-tune what you want from the model. So over here, if you come over here, this is where you can set the model that you want to use. So as you can see, currently we are on Gemini 2.5 Pro preview, and this is the latest Gemini model. So if you click on this, you would see other models that you have access to. So over here is 2.5 Pro preview from 05 to 6, that is the date that was released, then the flash preview and second flash preview. So if we can also look at the Gemini 2.0 models and then Gemma models and other models. So as you can see, you can select different models, but you'll be thinking, what model is best to use? So the thing is, these models are different they are best used for different cases. So if you want to understand, you can hover over them and then see what they are best used for. So for example, the latest model, which is 2.5 Pro, if you come over here, you see that it's best for coding, reasoning, and also multimodal understanding. You can also see the best use cases. So you can come here, experiment, depending on what you want. You can find out which model is best for the problem you're trying to solve. So over here, you're going to see that we also have what we call knowledge cutoff. So these models are being trained with data. You're not hearing me. These models are being trained with data, and this is showing how recent the data is. So for example, the Gemini 2.5 Pro, the data is as recent as January 2025. Gemini 2.5, let's check 2.0. 2.0, the data is as recent as August 2024, meaning that every other thing that's happened after August 2024, this model is not aware of it. So this is a very important detail. So the next thing we're going to look at is the temperature. So this depends on how imaginative or creative you want your model to be. So if you want it to be less creative, you can reduce the temperature and increase it if you want it to be very creative. So let's set it back to 1. And then over here, we have the thinking mode. So the models are capable of thinking. And currently you cannot turn off the thinking mode for Gemini 2.5. But when you give it a prompt, it's going to think before it gives you a result. Then over here, we have structured output. Structured output is when you want the model to give you a response following a particular structure. So for example, if you want it to respond to you using JSON format, you're going to turn this on, and then you're going to edit it and give it the sample on how it should give you the data. You can also do it for tabular format, JSON format, or any other structured format. So for code execution, this is when you want the model to solve complex tasks using code execution. You can also do function calling, where you can give it functions that it can run to solve your problem. Then we also have something very important here, and this is grounding with Google search. So if you're asking the model a question, for example, the model we are currently on, the data cutoff is, or should I say the knowledge cutoff is January 2025, and you want it to give you a very recent answer, make sure to turn on your grounding with Google search, and this is giving it the capability of actually searching the internet for an answer for you. Then for URL context, this is used for browsing URL context. So you want to browse the URL context, make sure to turn this on. So let us start practicing. So please go back to the document and go to stage 3. That is exploring Google AI Studio. Just click the next button and go to this next page. Are we there? All right then. So now we are going to, okay, yeah, we've done this. So we've explored the different parts. So go to page 4. So that is prompt engineering. So are we there? Page 4, prompt engineering. Okay, so please copy the first prompt and then go back to Google AI Studio and give it the prompt. And then click the run button. So this is an easy prompt. I said write a Python function that prints hello world. And as you can see, it's thinking. Remember earlier I talked about thinking mode. So it doesn't just spit an answer for you. It's capable of reasoning and thinking and then coming to a conclusion. So this is the result. So it's giving us a Python code that will print out hello world. And then this is the output when you run this particular code. And then it's giving a detailed explanation of what the code is all about. So let us practice with the next prompt. The next prompt is we are trying to test out its debugging skill. So copy this prompt and then give it to the model. Have we done this? If you've done this, if you're where I am, please just raise your hand. Let me know if you're following. So one other important aspect of thinking is you can go through the thought process of the AI model. So as you can see here, it took 17.7 seconds to think of an answer based on what I gave to it. And then if you drop this, you would see how it came to this conclusion. So let's say you give the model a problem to solve and it doesn't solve it the way you want it to solve it. You can come here and look at its thought process. So if you go through its thought process, you can see where it went wrong. And then when you're reprompting the model, you can now fine-tune your prompt to be better so you can get your desired result. So as you can see, it explained what type of error I had in the Python script. It's a 0 division error. And then it explained why it's in my code, and then it fixed the code for me. So this is a very helpful tool when you're coding. It can help as a coding assistant to help you debug and even help you decipher tricky documentation. So let's go to the next prompt. So here it's going to get a little bit interesting. So remember I said earlier that the temperature setting is used to set how creative you want the AI model to be. So let's copy this prompt and then give it to the AI model. But before you give it to it, make sure to set the temperature setting to 0. So once you set that to 0, and then you give it the prompt, the prompt says generate 5 names for a brand of coffee that is exclusively for software developers. So by setting this temperature to 0, the response is going to give us, it's not going to be very creative. It's going to be very predictable and straight to the point. So let's see what response it gives to us. Okay, so it has generated 2 for us to choose from. So I want us to compare the results from this with the results when you set the temperature to the highest, which is 2. So reprompt it with the same question, and let's see. How many people are at the same step with me? Okay. Mine is still thinking. Whose model has an answer already? Okay, mine is still thinking. So as you can see, the response is more creative than the previous one. So we have pseudo brew, syntax sugar, rubber duck roast. So if you compare the two responses, you see that it was much more creative because you increased the temperature. But if you decrease it, it's going to be very predictable, very straight to the point. So this is good for mostly content creators. For example, if you want to write a story or if you want to create a social media post and you want it to be very creative and imaginative and you want to come here, you can increase the temperature so that the model will be very, very creative before it responds to your question. So let's set it back to 1. So let's go back to the documents. The next thing we're going to try out is the structured output. So I want you to copy this prompt here, the one that says generate a sample product description. Just copy this prompt and go back to the studio. So what we want here is, I want it to answer this question, giving me the response in JSON format. So first of all, I would do this, and then I'll run the code, run the prompt. So let's say I was doing a particular job and then I needed it to give me this response in form of JSON so that I can impute it in my code. This is just text. This is content. You don't need this. So if you want structured data, you can always come and set it up in structured output. So what I will do is I will turn this on and then I'll edit it. So here is, you can give it the sample of the JSON that you want. So if you come back to the document, below the prompt, copy this structured JSON format. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to give it the format on how I want this to be. Okay, I think I have a stray comma. So the third closing parenthesis, please remove the comma from there, and then save. So when you do this, you can go back, get the same prompt, and you see that the answer this time around will just come in a straight JSON format. So as you can see, the response is fairly different. initially we gave it this same prompt, and then it gave us the type of data we did not want. It gave us a lot of text. You cannot impute this in your code like this, but I needed JSON format, so I gave it a structure to follow, and it gave me the response in JSON. So this is very powerful if you want data in form of JSON, CVS, table, and whatnot. So for grounding in Google search, let us test this capability. So please copy the next prompt under grounding with Google search. And then don't forget to turn off the structured output because we don't need this anymore. So paste the next prompt, which is what's the latest React version? Who knows the latest React version? Latest React version. Was it 19? Okay, so if we run this, let's see the answer it's going to give to us. The latest React version is 19, but as you can remember, the knowledge cutoff for this model is January 2025, so it's not aware. It wasn't aware of my previous prompt. So it has memory from my previous prompt. Who got 18, please? Who got 18? Okay, it has memory from my previous prompt. I've prompted this before, so it now knows it's 19. But if you prompt it now, it doesn't have any memory, especially if your account is new. You will get 18. But if you want it to give you 19, I want you to turn on grounding with Google search. So who are those that got 18? Okay, turn on grounding with Google search and then ask it the same question again. Have you done that? Did you get 19 now? Who are those that got 18 previously? Do you have 19 now? Yeah. So anyway, initially, when I asked it this question, so you can see it in the document, it told me 18. So what I did was I turned on my grounding with Google search, and then it gave me 19, and it even gave me resources that it got the information from. So if you wanted to give you recent data and you wanted to search the web, make sure you turn on grounding with Google search. So mine came out as 19 because it has previous memory of communicating with me. So let's quickly go through other prompts and then build our application. So it can also recognize details in images. So if you go to the next prompt for number 6, image and text prompt, we can take this prompt, and then you can give it any random image. Ask it, can you summarize what's in this image? So I'll quickly go somewhere and download a stock image, and then I'll give it the image. And then ask it if it can summarize what's in the image. And then it can identify the objects in the image. So for our next prompt, we are going to give the AI model a role. So here, as you can see, it identified what was in my image. It told me what was in my photograph. And then the next prompt rather, let's take this, you're a sarcastic joker. And then we're going to give the AI a role. So I want you to scroll up to the top and click on this icon for systems instruction. So when you want the AI model to assume a role, this is where you give it the instruction. So now I want it to be a sarcastic joker. And then when I add it here, just close this up here. So click here and then add the instruction. And then I'll give it this prompt and I say, hi, I'm a junior developer. So now the response it's going to give to me is going to be very sarcastic because I already instructed it to be a sarcastic joker. So, So who has run this prompt? Who gave it an instruction and then gave it the hi, I'm a junior developer? As you can see, the response was sarcastic because I asked it to be sarcastic to me by setting the system instruction over here. You're a sarcastic joker. And then I said, hi, I'm a junior developer. And it said, a junior dev. Welcome to the world of it works on my own machine. So yeah, it's been sarcastic to me because I asked it to take on that role. So let's go to the next place. We are almost done. So the next, before we quickly go into building the simple application, let's see how powerful the streaming aspect of Gemini is. So over here, as you can see, you can talk with it. We don't have time for that. You can also give it access to your webcam, and then you can share your screen. So I'm quickly going to share my screen with it and see if it can help me solve this problem. So this is a simple Python script, but it has an error. So let's see if Gemini can see my screen and then identify this error. So come over, okay, just watch me do it. And then I click on share your screen, and then I say entire screen and share. Hi, Gemini, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can hear.
I have an issue with my code. Can you help me out?
Can you tell us the truth?
So when I ran this code, it didn't work. Can you figure out the issue?
The issue is that you're referring to the definition. When you convert the total rate, you just by using the int function. You should. You need to convert the result of some rating to an integer or casting it to the len function. Try changing the line total equals sum ratings to total equals int sum of ratings.
Can you guys hear the Gemini? Hi, Gemini, can you see my screen?
Oh. Yes, I can still see your screen. Did you find anything that you just suggested?
Can you repeat the change? Can you repeat the change for me?
Sure. Change the line total equals sum of ratings to total equals int of sum of ratings.
Okay. Okay. Can you guys see the code? Okay. So wait, let me stop this.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to make sure we're on the same page. So I have a Python script that has a bug. Let me go back to the buggy code. And I'm trying to use Gemini Live to fix my issue. So I wasn't aware that you guys weren't hearing it before, but I've connected the audio. So let's do this again.
Okay.
Hi Gemini, how can I fix my code? Hello Gemini, how can I fix my code? Let me see. Okay, wait. Let me stop this and redo it. Alright. Hi Gemini, can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay, can you see the error in my code? Okay, can you find any other error in my code? Hello Gemini, can you see my screen?
Okay. We're getting there.
Let me see. Hello Gemini, can you see my screen? It's not working at this time. But you get the gist. Network is bad here. There's a lot of crowd here. I did make a video. I don't know if I have time, but I did the same thing. And Gemini was able to figure out the code, the bug in my screen. But you guys didn't listen to me earlier. But initially, it told me to change this sum to int. But my audio wasn't connected, so you couldn't hear it. But let me do that. So this was the solution that Gemini gave to me before the first time I tried it. And then if I try to run this Python code quickly, okay, let's change this to 3. Mommy, I'm almost done. Unfortunately, we're not able to build our application. Okay, as you can see, the code is running now. We're not able to build the application, but I would show you the app we're supposed to build on this session. So if you come to your apps, this was the app that Gemini was able to create for me, which was an AI recipe generator. If you want to build this app, go to the next page, that's page 5, build an AI recipe generator, and then use these prompts that I have here. Come to the build section of Google AI Studio, and then feed it here in this input section, and then run it. But this is the application here. We're supposed to build this live, but we don't have time anymore. So this is the code that Gemini generated for me. And then if you this code currently works. So if I just give it something simple, rice, tomatoes, it's going to work. I built this app twice actually. So there's this one, there's another one. So yeah, if you want to build this application, please just come to the next page, take the prompt over here, and then give it to Gemini. If you want to build any other application, make sure to describe your application thoroughly to Gemini, and then you'll be able to build it. If you want to have access to your code, this button over here, you can use this to download the application. And then if you have the application, you can host it anywhere you want to host it and have your code live. Then if you have access to Google Cloud, you can also deploy it on Google Cloud. And I wish we had more time. I wish we did not have network issues so you guys could have seen the stream live, because I did it yesterday and it was amazing and it blew my mind. But yeah, I'm excited to have run this workshop with you guys. You're a good audience, and this is my very first workshop, so thank you for having me. And this was amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gift. Please, can you celebrate Gift a lot better? Gift, my own major interest is where you ask Gemini about this. I don't know. Can you ask Gemini where Elon Musk used to keep his money? Please, Gemini, where does Elon Musk keep his money? You wish he would keep his money in the bank. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Please, let's celebrate Gift once again. That's a very beautiful one. Okay. All right. So very quickly, we are going to jump into the next section. Oh, okay. Are we ready? All right, so we're going to do something real quickly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Okay, just a little bit away from the code lab. Did we get something from what gifts shared? You did not get anything. Don't worry. Please, how many people got what gift shared by raise of hands, sincerely? You got something from what she shared. Can I see some hands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Gift, vote for yourself now. 33, 34. Please, camera people, take note of that 34 people. Those are the only people chopping jollof rice today. Every other person, you can go and do your own. Some people are now wishing, I wish I raised my hand. Okay, very quickly, thank you so much. We're going to be bringing in another person to speak to us to extend the conversation. Now, we want to appreciate gifts so much. I mean, having to know that you can speak to your computer and get your problem solved real time is the game changer. And of course, if you're a developer, you know the hassles and everything, having to go through lines of codes to find out where your bug is and all of that. And now you have an assistant, somebody who can help you right where you are. Please, can we celebrate Gift once again? Put your hands together for Gift once again. Thank you so much for sharing.
Get started. Are we good? Okay, so just see the next slide. So if you scan that barcode, it will take you to this code lab. This code lab that says get started with Firebase Studio. So I'm going to be walking you through the different steps on how to prototype your app idea using Firebase Studio. By the way, Firebase Studio is one hell of a software. So if you are here, just go to the next slide. Go to the next. Okay. Just go. Okay. So please, while we are going through this, if you have any issues, please, if you have any issues, just signify. Someone will walk up to you, right? Sorry? The QR code again. Jesse, QR code again. Jesse. Jesse. Okay, so please, I've done this code lab previously. So you just start from the overview of this code lab. Please, you're going to follow. You're going to follow me, please. Um, First of all, if you are here on this code lab, please click on this link here to open Firebase Studio on a new tab. Please. Firebase interface. Okay, okay, okay. I think Jesse, you run the code from there. Okay, so basically, what we get to do here is, if you want to prototype your application, right? You get a rough idea, or a rough an initial design, or an initial product of what the idea will look like. Then subsequently, you can get to iterate as much as you want. So today, we're going to. This is just the basic idea. You are going to fine tune the app to your choice. We're just going to start that, right? Then you are going to come out with different end products. Mr. Obun, give us an app idea for these people.
Okay. Yeah, app idea. Okay. Yeah, app idea. An app that showcases the profiles of all community members in GDG and Port Harcourt. So you come, you add your details, your picture, your social media, and others can see it and connect with you. So that should be the app idea. Is it clear? It's not clear. The app idea, like you're prompting Firebase Studio to build for you an app that can showcase the profiles of members of the GDG Port Harcourt community. So what the app should do is that if we come and we put in our pictures, our social media profiles, everybody can come in there and see all of it and interconnect with each other person. Because the idea of community is networking and connection and all. So that's the app idea for maybe this flank, right?
Sorry, if that
is it not clear?
If that is too long, you can give an app idea, an app that can show Nigerians when we are seeing our next shege. Is that clearer?
I need an app idea for the people behind you, please.
Something that will show us when the next shege.
I want to say a Twitter clone. A Twitter clone. Oh, sorry. Okay. A recipe generator. Yes. That'll be hard.
The people in this axis, give them an app idea. This guy, please just go back to the code lab. Copy the sample code on the code lab and paste inside the prompt. Go to the code lab. Go to the code lab. Sorry? So if you are on the code lab, you should see a sample prompt on the code lab, right? But I don't want you to use the same sample prompt as the one on the code lab, right? So that we could try something else. So if you have done that, you notice that if you did not give Gemini an idea of what to call the app, it has given it a name, right? It has given that app a name, true or false? Who has done that? It has given it a name, right? It has given it a name, right? Is that the name you want? You said yes. Is that the name you want for the application? So if you are fine with the name Gemini provided, right? Then you don't need to customize the features, right? But if you are not okay with it, Sorry? You can edit, you can customize. Just Jesse. So this is what I want you to do. Change. Sorry? Okay. Are we good? Are we good? Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is, I want you to, after Gemini has given you the initial output, right, based on your prompt, I want you to primary color, the secondary color, and an accent color, right? Right? Yeah, so I want you to edit it, change the color to a color of your choice, something else. Okay, so if you are done, let's see. So it might take a little bit of time. Yeah. Okay, so if you are done, you could. Okay, if you are done, if you are comfortable with the prompt, yeah, with the output, right? Yes, you could change the color of the. You customize. Click up, scroll up. Eh, so if you are looking for where to customize the initial design, just look at the top right corner of that box. You should see customize with a pen icon. Yeah, you click on it, then you can customize the text here. Now, once you are done customizing, remember to save. Yes, you must save after customizing. Yes. Don't prototype yet. Please scroll up. Go up. Go up. So here, no, go. If you feel you don't like the name, what's this? You can customize, click on customize, then you change the name here. So change it, call it something else. Of the app that Gemini prototype for you, you can decide to edit. So, so the primary color, you can also edit the core features to include certain things. Now, once you are done and you feel comfortable that, okay, this can be my first, this thing, you click on save, then you go ahead to prototype this app. To use AI, right? Gemini AI. It will be asking you for what? API key, right? So you should see get API key at the top, somewhere at the top, or you should see just by the far right, somewhere around here, you should see generate API key, auto generate API key. Click on auto generate API key. It will do that and just sync it for you. Did you add AI in your prototype? Okay. See, it's taking forever. Okay, so I don't think I want to wait for this thing to finish. Sorry? It's taking too much time, right? So please watch. If you are done prototyping and yeah, you're done. Okay, so okay. Go this way. Okay. 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 GDG, please. GDG Cloud Port Harcourt. Yeah. So please, even after prototyping the app, and you feel you have, I wish I could use your system now. Have you done that? So just prompt Gemini here to fix this. Yeah. Just refresh the page. Refresh this. Let's, okay. Huh? Okay. What kind of name is that now? Change the name. Change the name. No, we disagree. Change the name. How will the name of the app be today? But it's your app now, so I cannot query you now. You're the one that gave the prompt. No problem. So you can go ahead to publish. Yes. But if you feel you still need to fix anything, you give another prompt here for Gemini to. Yes. Okay, so if you are done prototyping and you are comfortable with what you have for now, it's not as if that's the final end, that's the end product. You can always go back and iterate over it. You can click on the publish at the top right. A small model should pop up. Eh? Yes, select billing account. Yes. Set of service. Please, who is ready to publish? Okay, so you want to publish? Go back to switch to the interface. Okay. So they'll ask you to select. Hold on. Please, once you click on publish, it will go through several steps and ask you to select a billing account. Select a billing account. Select the billing account you created when the billing account we had with Google Cloud Credit. The trial billing account. Now select that billing account. Yes. Set up services. To know that, please listen. If you are developing on Firebase and you are going to use your Gemini API key, right? Just know that this is for demo. But know that outside here, if you are doing a production and enterprise stuff, you are going to be using an API key that you paid for. And you should know that you should not make that API key open. You know, right? I'll use it and I'll use it. That you don't run into issues. So prototype your app. Are you done? Publish. Okay. Please also check if your app is working. Oh. Don't prototype app when they work. It's working. You test run it. So what you do is once you host it, once you publish it, you get a link, right? Share it. Let's see. Let's see. Share it so that others can see. You're having a bug. Ask Gemini to fix it. Hope he's not gonna ask you to do sign up and sign in. Yeah, so yeah, I said go to choose the billing account. Scroll. Yeah, this one. Yes. So once you get to billing account, right? You click the drop down and click the trial billing account. Then click on setup services. And please, once you do this, do well to share the application on social media. Just share it that this is what you built. This is what you succeeded in doing with Firebase Studio. And also, you can also go further down the documentation for Firebase Studio on how to link your Firebase Studio to GitHub, right? So that you can push these codes to GitHub. So even when, sorry? I say Firebase Studio documentation. Sorry? View with. This is you publish now. Yes. Once it gets to billing account, you choose the. Okay, so I think I'm going to. Yes? I'm coming. Yes. Yes. Yes, sorry. Yes. Yes, yes. He's going to give you a live link. He's going to give you a live link, yes.
Beyond creating the app and posting it, there are two people you need to beg. You need to beg the service providers to allow your app to get posted as the first app. And if the service providers allow you, you need to also beg your village people. Because sometimes you might be the first to post here and your app might not be the first to appear online. All right, so very quickly, Duff, please. We're going to do something real quickly. All right, so we have been building. This game is very simple. We're going to do a bit of dance. Right, so we're simply going to follow the video. Oh, can we give us full screen? Make I hear. Somebody said tech people are introvert. Man, yeah. Introvert who don't see finish. Don't wait until you get to their like I don't talk.
Or you just go to YouTube.
All right, are we good to go? Tech people, leave your laptop, Pano. Eh? You go still win, no worry. Eh? Let's do this together. No, can you open it wider? Okay, good. Awesome. We are seeing the screen, right? If you can't see the screen, just feel it in your spirit.
I need the sound.
Extend the sound now. Open full screen first. I think we are getting sound a bit. Skip. We can hear the sound, right? Okay, so we're going to do this together. All right. Who is ready? Okay, so positions. Just watch the screen and do exactly what... Camera guys, get me this video because that's where we're going to select. Now here we'll get the faces of people who will give jollof rice. Please, I need this, very important to me. Aha. Okay. Are we getting the vibes? Aha. All right, start from beginning. Let me even see if I can beat people to this one. Our face show. Our face show, I shoot, I know great shine. I don't know why. But we'll be all right. Just take it. Or if this one is not working, let's call a wiki band to do something for us. Baba don't carry our band, go Abuja. Oh. Okay, then expand for us. Please run and fast now. Some people are waiting to win the cash prize and other department of. All right, guys, let's go. Okay. Leave the sign. Just follow the. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this together. Let's see. Okay, roll the first part.
So they should just see the.
No, just let it play the first one so that everybody gets the vibe. All right, let's go. We're getting it. Okay. I like this. Videographers, get me the faces of people doing it. Oh, those in charge of jollof rice, mark the faces now. This is where we're getting it. Aha. Nothing we never do for this money. Oh. All right, please, you may be seated. Thank you so much. You guys are super wonderful. To be honest, I almost don't open church. I'm seeing this congregation now, and then, but again, it would have been a good thing to open church with all of you. But the only problem I'll have is the name to give to the church. That would be where the problem will come from. Because I've checked A to Z. Churches have collected everything. No? Are you aware? You're doubting it? Okay, let's do this together before we call the next speaker. Now, you're going to read A to Z. I'll tell you the name of the churches. Are we good? All right, let's go. No, start with A now. Assemblies of God Church, Baptist Church, Catholic, Deeper Life, Evangelical Ministry, Foundation Army, God's Kingdom Society, Holiness Evangelical, Intercessors, Jehovah Witness, Kingdom's People Society, Living Faith, Mountain of Fire, New Life in Christ, Overcomers, Pentecostal Ministry, Kwaibo Church. Yes, Kwaibo Church. Redeem, Salvation Ministries, True Life in Christ, United Evangelical Ministry. What? Voice of Christ, Winners Chapel. Now, as the only that one I didn't agree collect. I don't know why they have refused to collect that one. Yahweh Ministries, Zion Ministries. So you see, can we open our own church and call it ZAI Ministries International? Well, engagements before we take our lunch. Feelers reaching me is that our lunch is here. Particularly, not just ordinary lunch. It is an AI ingredient bedded jollof rice. And so, ladies and gentlemen, to speak to us on the next topic, and that is going to be dealing with how you can build multi-agent generative AI systems usually in that and Flutter category. He also is a full-stack blockchain and web developer with professional front-end, back-end, and Web3 experiences. He has written several articles on Flutter in various publications and volunteered in communities even beyond the GDG. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody else is better suited to talk about how to build multi-agent generative AI systems using Google Cloud than our own very Google developer experts. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see him, you know what I'm talking about. And why he is speaking. The men concentrate on what he's teaching. The ladies, please concentrate on how fine he is. That's also okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, a double fine boy. Put your hands together for Obumneme Nwabude. Please celebrate him as he makes his way to speak to us on how to build multi-agents using generative AI in cloud computing, particularly Google Clouds. Can we give him the microphone? All right. While he's speaking, if he's entering your eye, you can meet me later for his phone number, and you can start sending recharge card from today.
Hi. Slideshow. Good. Hi, everyone. Hello. My topic is we want to build multi-agent generative AI systems with Google Cloud. Thank you for being part of this session, right? We also have to thank the host, the organizers, and everyone for organizing. It's not easy, but also thank you for being audience. And we've had 2 sessions before. Yeah, Gibbs came and spoke about Google AI Studio. Dov spoke about Firebase AI Studio. But I want to take you above these levels. Are you with me? I want your attention. I want your attention. Gift showed us Google AI Studio. Felix had introduced me. I'm a boom. Can just Felix had introduced me. I'm a boom. Can just call me a boom. Yeah. And yeah, this was one of the links too. So we need a project. We need a Google Cloud Platform project. I want to assume that you already have the credits. When I was going around telling people about credits, I told them to create projects in GCP. So I have created already, but I want you to create. So by wave of hand, who does, by wave of hand, I asked you to can my first project, use it. If you have not created, you can create one. So this is my screen of where I'm creating one. I want to use for this. I go again. On Google Cloud, you were somewhere here. Escape, escape. When you got the credits, you were somewhere in billing. Oh, go to link to billing account. You would have seen, yeah. Go to whatever. Yours was 00, right? You saw this 00 screen. From this 00 screen, and you create a new project. You click on new project and create a new project. And I'll create a new project. So you can leave the default name. Under the billing account, it should be Google Cloud Trial Billing, not my name. And if the project, you can customize the project name. A Google Cloud Platform project is a container for resources. We are about building multiple generative AI integrations, a system that can use multiple Gen AI from different places. So we need a project. So if you have created a project, you don't do anything, you're going to use that project. But if you have not, I'll give that name AI Demi. But now the interesting thing about the project, the interesting thing about the project or creating a project is the project ID. The project name is publicly readable, right? But the project ID is something that doesn't change. Who has created a project? Who's with me? The aim of this session is for you to do what I'm doing. If you're incapable of doing what I'm doing, it's as good as I stop. I'm serious. Everybody has a laptop in front of them, giving the cloud credits. So, who has a GCP project for use? Dove. Yeah, it's as good as I stop if you are not following along. More than half of this hall to follow along. You all have laptops. Okay. See the link. Have you gotten it? Google goo.gle/multi-agent systems. Have you gotten it? goo.gle/multi-agent-system. It's case sensitive. So the M in your multi, your A in agent, and S in system should be all uppercase. On a new tab, just follow. Because it will open the code lab we are meant to follow today. Right, so all the instructions are there. Like type it as a link. It's a link already. It's shortened. Google has shortened the link. That's why it's on their name, goo.gle. So just as if you type bit.ly now. Have you? Okay, you have it already. Akachuku. I went around now, I was collecting names, free of charge. Where is he? I'm not even seeing him. Hope soon I do him. Why? Network. Nah, lie. Have we gotten? Can we progress? So you should see something like this. This one. You should see this page. Are you seeing this page? Who is seeing this page? Good. Alright, shit's got real right now. We're about getting hard. So we don't have all the time. ideally, when you go home, you should repeat this thing, right? And I doubt to finish all the 15 steps. Each page is quite demanding, it's quite technical and interesting. It's well bombarded. Our aim is to create AI from multiple places. We want to create AI in Cloud Run, right? Have an agent in Cloud Run that will be working for you. And then we also want to create an agent inside Cloud Shell, but where you will be accessing from the database. You create an SQL database too, and it's reading data from there. And we're also going to read data from Google. Those are 3 sites. And I don't think there's enough time because we're also supposed to enter DeepSeek. You know DeepSeek, right? The idea is that we want to show you that it is possible to build with AI. The aim of this session is what? Build with AI. So we want to build with AI, and we're telling you that it's not all about you using AIs, but it's about when you're building software, you can actually add AIs inside the software so that when people Cloud one in Google Cloud, not this one. In Google Cloud, click this. Is this one? See this icon, not this guy. Can you see this icon? Yeah. Open editor. This button here, it was still down, but open editor, it's like open a VS Code kind of inside Google Cloud. Who has seen this? Okay, who has at least opened Cloud Shell? Okay. Who got Cloud Shell? Let me start from there. Good. Now look around your Cloud Shell should still be down here. There will be open editor. Please click on it so that it will. Cloud Shell should still be down here. There will be open editor. Please click on it so that it will change. It will become like VS Code something. It will become like VS Code something. When it opens, change, where is that place? Is this one? Change, where is that place? Is this one? Change here. You see, that look at the bottom right of the editor. Let me not go too fast. Who is here? All right, I need help. Please do check between. Yeah, there. Okay, thank you. Who else? Who else is here? Who else has seen editor? Thank you. Who again? Good. Akachuku. Have you seen editor? Okay. I need someone else here. Johnny. Have you seen editor? Show me. Show. Okay, good. Authorize. Someone else was here. Martins. Who is Martins? Alpha. Are you seeing editor? Did you even enter Cloud Shell? Okay, bye. I've forgotten your name. Okay, so at the bottom, this is my left hand, yes. At the bottom left of Cloud, look at somewhere here. There's a Cloud Code Node project. I'm hovering, I'm moving my mouse down there. At the bottom left, you need to click on it. Then to bring up a menu, right? Then you scroll inside the menu, or you press you see select a Google Cloud project. Let me repeat the steps again. At the bottom, is it bottom right or bottom left of the editor, click Cloud Code Node project. Then you do select a Google Cloud project. Then on selecting, you pick your own project. I have a lot of projects. So which one should I even use? I created one. Let me use AI audio today because I've already done all these things in. Okay, let me use today project. Let me not use that because I've done all these things in AI Demi. So if I to redo them, there might be wahala. So let me use my today project. Good. That's what today is today. If you use today to take time, and the name down here will become the name of your project. So your project should be your own name project. Do you understand? For those following, I repeat, you when you click here, you will have been select project. And when you click on it, you select the project, and that will be it. It will speak. Okay. Who? Do open editor. Yes, do that one. Okay. If we have the project, the next thing. Oh yeah, now to come and start copying commands. So see, see, you will be copying commands. You copy command, you run it. Copy command, you run it, and we'll be doing. I think if you're here, press if you're in Mac, Command J. If you're in Windows, Control J. Linux, Control J. If you're here, so that I bring up terminal. It's like a VS Code now, but inside Google Cloud. Do you understand? So you just run these commands. You can run them ahead of me. Right? There's this G Cloud auth list, project stuff. So you run each one. Only difference is that that project ID you copied, you should put it here. So you delete this everything in angle brackets and then you put it. So but you run the first one, copy, you come down here, Shana here, paste. Yeah. No be this one I want to use. You know the paste? Okay, Control Shift V. Yeah, network. Okay. I be use Chrome. Chrome come to get network issue. Now Firefox is telling me clipboard. Please be serious now. Who is using Firefox? I don't think anybody. I use and I make I restart. Sure. It be like I go type on myself. Because in your case, you should be typing and copying and pasting. But for some reason, Firefox does not want me to copy and paste. Okay, it's like if I say Firefox does not want me to copy and paste. Okay, it's like if I say don't copy it, you need to change your project ID. No more. Steps still choke. Improve the flow. How many of us are doing this thing? Like following. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's a good number. Let's do page 1 and page 2. So that at least you deploy Cloud Run and get a link. The people will stop. Because the thing choke. Me, where do I was like, okay. I was telling Dove, say alpha. He choke. But it's actually worth it. When you do, you see that, okay, it's actually possible. You understand? I have my G-Cloud auth list to work. Okay, who has been running the commands to constant project ID? The gibberish one, the one that might have alphanumeric characters inside. And then you paste, then you copy the second line. Then you now come back and copy this one. It will take time. This G-Cloud service enable will take time. So I've already done the first one. If I do it, I'll be breaking stuff. So let me repeat it again. Not that I'll be breaking stuff, but all these things I'm facing with copy and paste. Now, you don't paste. Thank God he pasted. Enter. So you need to run. It takes more time because enabling APIs, but it's fine. Okay, mine has an happen because I've done it before in this project. We shouldn't switch to a new tab. We should wait. I know it takes time, but not so much time. Let's say 30 seconds. You copy the next one and you also run it. Nah, not here. I can explain what these commands are doing, right? Actually, we've enabled all these APIs because we use them. Google Cloud Run, Cloud Storage, AI, SQL. We use all these commands, so we are enabling them. This one, you're adding more, it's just set up. Right? Because of want of time, we can't explain everything word for word. But in your free time, when you go into the code lab, read it between the lines, one after the other. It will all make sense. We need to grant more permissions. I've done this already, Sha. I wanted to be in a new project, but more time. Paste. Enter. Then if you come back, the next command is SQL. Who has run all the commands on the page? Who is on the permissions command? Who is on this command? This one of permissions. Okay. You've done the permissions. It's processing right now. Okay. What of the first command? Who has run the first command? Auth list. Okay. The command you run. Then you complete the second command within that box. You have to do simply like copy, paste, enter, copy, paste, enter. Okay. So the last one is to create this SQL command, right? G-Cloud SQL. You copy and paste. SQL takes time. For want of time, you can skip this, right? Let's not create the SQL. When you go home and you want to read the steps, when you're doing non-create it, that's where you use SQL. Because I want to stop. So, for that reason, for now, you are following with me. Don't do this last 5 minutes to create an instance. And if you leave the instance running, your money will be going. The billing, the $5 you got will be going down faster than you would have. So I'm not saying we should not, but I'm saying because we're not going to finish all the code lab steps, I don't want us to do it. But when you will go home and be doing the code lab, please make sure you follow the step. Do it, right? And then I'm entering the next page, building the first agent. So we have to go to Cloud Run. So you open the link, they gave you the cloud console. Open it on a new tab. Don't do that cloud shell on you're doing. But here, watch me. You go to the sidebar and go to Cloud Run. Let's deploy Cloud Run. This is it. Cloud Run. But let me show you again. If you come, open a new seat, right click and open. But let me show you again. If you come, open a new seat, right click and open a new. When it opens, you click the left side menu, scroll down to, I think it's Cloud Run. Where's Cloud Run again? Here, services. You open it. We are about creating a new Cloud Run. In this new Cloud Run, we will create our first agent. All those things you did were necessary. If we didn't do it here, we would have had issues. The second one. We are following the steps in this list too. Write a function. Service name should be book provider. Is there a this thing there? What they ask? Service name should be book provider. Is there a this thing there? What they ask? They say the details. Book dash provider. Region. Let me search. US. Okay, it's the first one. US Central one. It's always the first. I think that was Google's. I'm not sure. That might have been Google's first data center, right? And I think it's the biggest. It's the biggest. US Central one. Okay. At least we have South Africa inside. If they open data center here, I'm on the record. Shagositokam, no be lie. If they can't open data center here, to give you perspective, these data centers are using Google Cloud, right? It's like this blue, and then you come, the way these tables are lined, they are lining up. Enter. It should give me some results within here. As it, my contact info, so that if you have any difficulty or questions, you can ask me. This is okay. It generated a lot of books, Even if I'm seeing author Serafina who, book name Shadows of the Serpent State Publishing. Is there a company called Crystal Q Publishing? Let's check, I beg, because this AI they cook with no good. But that's the idea. So if you continue on the other steps of the code lab, you see where they said, okay, you should ground it with Google search, like Gift was saying earlier, that when we ground it, Kevin, you do publishing. Okay, there are real people getting started with the code lab. Like we went to Google Cloud Platform, obtained a Google Cloud project, followed the code lab, open Cloud Shell, ran commands that enabled APIs, and then 1. 2, that question you have, you see, you can actually ask it which API. You can ask it and it can do it for you from within here. 1. 2, you can just go to Google and just search about it online. 3, we have docs, Google Cloud Docs, like cloud.google.com/docs. Everything is explained. 4, there are many YouTube videos. 5, the code lab is, there's what we call AI, APIs and resources and services, enabled APIs. So when you come here, you can search anyone you need and enable. In fact, even you didn't run that command and you're doing other things and there were errors, right? The errors will tell you what to do. They'll give you a link to what you should go and do. Maybe it was like billing.
In the case of this agent or the S2 gets weather, then immediately it gets the weather, it returns the agents, then gives it back to the user. It returns the agents, then gives it back to the user. So basically, this is just like an overview of what an is. Next slide. So what's slide? So what's ADK? Well, like I said, agents ADK. Well, like I said, agents might be one of the next big things in AI. So Google being Google decided to build a software or a development kit that can help people build AI agents, to build and also deploy AI agents. Okay, next slide. Now, so you can use GPT, Claude, whatever, there's always a new LLM these days. So just so we can do that. Okay, the next slide. Okay, so within the ADK, there's actually a couple of really important things we need to learn. In order for you to work with the agents, you need a runner. Essentially, what the runner does is it actually just runs the agents. So a user comes in and says, help me to do this. They say there's a session ID that gotten, I mean, okay, I'm taking it out. So this is Google Colab, and I'm guessing most of you might be familiar with Google Colab. It essentially allows you to run Python code in your web browser. So the very first thing, what do? You either use USSD, where they'll say click 1 to get your balance, click 2 to do this, or you're clicking on your app. And I feel like that's like old school, especially in the age of AI. We're supposed to just say, hey, I want my balance, and your app is just supposed to reply to you. And that's what we're going to try to achieve. So this is the exact same flow. The user comes in, they ask, hey, I want to get my balance. The agent decides that, okay, let me use the account balance tool to get the user's balance, then returns that result. Agent, if anyone familiar with programming here, I know programmers are becoming rare because of vibe coding. But essentially, we just define functions that will be used as tools by our agents. So the Gemini models are basically going to become agents thanks to these tools that are here. So we have you can run the cell. We have a make transfer tool that essentially just makes transfers amount from a specific account to this, a check balance tool, a list beneficiaries tool. Okay, so now this is more like a real life demo of how I feel like most bank applications should be. So just quickly ask the agent, how much money do I have? Agent. So essentially what is sequential agent is the workflow or the sequential agent. Imagine if you're trying to make investments and you're thinking, okay, what's the best investment strategy I can make? You can use an AI agent that can essentially help you to make investments. So you can have like one agent that will be researching for you, perform research for you, then another agent that can perform the strategy for you. All what you just have to do is you put it in sequence. The research agent does his research first, then the strategy agent comes up with the right strategy. And you can do all of this with ADK. So just scroll down. Okay, so there's lots of code here, but the gist of it is there's lots and lots of prompts. There's there's something that both speakers mentioned, grounding with Google search. If you notice, and that's one tool. We have other tools. The first two tools we defined were then this is the strategy. So this is the sequential agent. It takes the investment agent and the strategy agent as sub-agents and uses them for the whole pipeline. Okay, scroll down a bit. Okay, so now diversify strategy for moderate risk growth in 2025. Okay, Shaw Bank's API. So I think someone actually created an example, an actual agent like this. He used WhatsApp, the same demo, but he used WhatsApp. And I don't know the API he used under the hood, but there's definitely an API that I can use to make transfer and the rest of it. It's purely doable right now with today's technology. Can I just take like one more question? That guy has been raising his hand. Yeah, just one more. The guy on green cap.
All right, so good day, everyone. So from my own understanding of AI agents, is basically you, as a programmer, writing functions or AI generated functions and adding a, let me say, an LLM with it to carry out those functions while you are not there. Now, my question now is that what we are doing now involves you having to work with maybe Gemini or these other, AI platforms. What if you are in a situation whereby you are trying to test out your own application using these AI agents, but since it's in the testing phase, you cannot be able to pay money for these to use these models? Is it possible that you can connect the functions to a lightweight LLM, then be able to host it and carry out those things first of all before connecting it to maybe these other models?
Okay, that's a very good question. So first of all, everything I ran here is free. Google offers their models free of charge from AI Studio. So this is free, and that was why I was using the Flash models because they are cheaper. But even if you decide that you don't want to use Gemini's model and you want to use, let me say, something like the Llama models, as long as the Llama model supports function calling, that's the term for it, it will be able to work as an AI agent. Essentially, an AI agent is just a language model that can call functions. So, and majority of models these days support function calling. So you can use any model of your choice. You can even run the model locally. Like if you have like a Mac OS, that's a very strong compute. You can run the models locally and you can use it for this. And just to give you an extra tip, if you're working with ADK and you want to use other models, you need to use it with something called Light LLM. Light LLM essentially allows you to connect with several model providers apart from Gemini. So I think it's one of my favorite agents toolkits. He mentioned LangGraph. OpenAI has theirs, but this is there's also Crew AI. There's just lots of agent toolkits, and Gemini, ADK is one of the best that I've seen as of now. Okay, so I guess that's it, right? Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Perfect job, perfectly delivered. Thank you so much, our own very dear Ete Mode. Thank you so much for dealing justice to that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just supposed to quickly just step out and take a group photo, but River State is being River State right now. And so it's drizzling a bit. What I'd like us to do, with your permission, we can actually have the last section done, so that what we'll do, the moment we step out and take our photos, we'll also take our lunch, and then we can do our networking and everything right there. Is that something I have your permission to run? Okay. Now, since I don't have your permission to do that, since I don't have your permission to do that, what I'm going to do is very quickly, as a man away from River State, and by the grace that we have built all the flyovers in River State, we built it. Am I lying? We built flyover 1, flyover 2, flyover 3, flyover 4. Or am I? So, because this government is government that we are the one that are running it. We're going to decide. And if us people have decided that we should run with this one. So we'll take the last session. Anybody that does not like it, you will not join PDP, you will not join APC. You can form your own party. But in this party and in this rivers, we'll run it. Thank you very much. No music. Because that's where we're supposed to actually crown it. So ladies and gentlemen, please, because of time, and so we can be able to get through with this as quickly as we can, we'll take the next section, and hopefully the rain would have subsided. Because even if you leave it out right now, I know that people will need to exchange numbers. You must have seen that fine lady or that fine guy who may make, because that's the high point. Now, if you think it hasn't happened, I can tell you for free I'm a corporate MC. I also MC weddings. I've MC'd at least 3 weddings that happened in River State, Abuja, and one in Lagos. And all of them meant themselves a tech event. That tech people, tech bros and tech sis, their house choke. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any more time, I'd like to invite to speak to us a very astute software engineer, a Google developer expert for web technologies particularly, and of course, a very big ambassador in the women tech makers, a girls talk ambassador, and of course, the co-founder of Arica, a tech community for tech newbies, particularly the women. She's so big on women, and I know why. Her more than 34 articles can be found on dev.to, Hashnote, Medium, and of course, Tfeed, and she also gives back through mentorship at various organizations like the TCN Women in Tech program. She codes Africa and one of the very, very best. Ladies and gentlemen, she also had run a program called One-on-One with Buchi. And so, since she's very particularly about women, may I publicly announce that I now identify as a woman so that I can be able to listen to her. And the rest of you, please identify as a woman so you can get the best of Buchi. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you our own Buchi Michelle, who is going to be dealing on seeing like a machine, a practical dive into computer vision and generative AI. How you can begin to see things just like machine. And maybe, just maybe, when she's done, when we're taking questions, we'll look at something that will actually spark us to understand and appreciate what she's going to be sharing with us. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not busy, can we put them together as a make welcome Buchi Michelle Okonicha.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So I know that everybody is hungry and tired, so I'm just trusting that you'd still be able to follow through even as I give this session. Okay, so my name is Buchi Michelle. Either one you can call me. And I would be focusing on, I know that everybody has talked about LLMs and Gen AI and all of that, yeah? So I'd be focusing more on computer vision for this session. Okay. So who knows what computer vision is? Just to like quickly get started. Computer vision. Okay, just quickly echo it from where you are. No. Yes, you why do you call it non-structured data? But your like images and all of that, it's okay. Because of time, actually. Okay, so computer vision, you got most of it. So let me just give a scenario. If I ask everybody in this hall, what is this in my hands? Or no, if I take this card and I ask you that, what is this? You're able to recognize what this card is, right? However, machines are not like human beings. In sense that when you give a machine this card, a machine would not automatically know what this card is. Now that is where training machines comes in. When I say computer vision, what it simply means is I'm trying to make a machine recognize images and objects the way human beings do. So I give you, as a human being, I give you this image, and then you're able to recognize it, right? A computer would not recognize it in this way. However, when I am able to properly automate my system, when I'm able to properly program my system, a machine would recognize thousands of images faster than a human being would do. So just the way you have artificial intelligence, and then we know that like literally everybody says artificial intelligence. Literally, what artificial intelligence is you're taking intelligence from human beings and you're putting them into machines, right? That is like the literal meaning of what artificial intelligence, because it is a machine and it does not have intelligence of its own. Hence, it is called artificial. Now, computer vision is the process of trying to mimic the human vision in machines. Now, human beings, what are the parts of the eye? First and foremost, our eyes are what we use for seeing. So we use our eyes and a part of our brain, right? Now, what are the parts of the eye that we have? We have the cornea, we have the optical nerves, we have... no. Okay, eyebrow. Eyebrow is not. Yes, we actually have the eyebrow, but it's not really part of the. Like, it's not. It's a protective layer. The lashes. I think is that not the eyebrow? Wait, which one is eyebrow? Is it this one? Okay. I was only referring to this one as a protective layer. Right, this one. However, the parts of the eye I am talking about in this context are the parts of our eye that majorly or are totally that our vision totally depends on. Thank you. Like the retina, in the retina we have the cones and the rods where we can see light and colored images, non-colored, and all of that. Then, sorry. Okay, and then we have various parts of the eye. Like I already mentioned, the optical nerve. Now, what happens in machines? Initially, I'll just quickly run on this. Now, initially, when the idea of photography, for instance, now came up, or the idea of trying to allow machines to see like human beings, what really happened was that they started coming up with small things like the lenses, the curvatures, like basic things, right? If you've heard of something called the pinhole camera, which is the very primitive camera. So what you can even, as you're sitting there, you can create a pinhole camera. Just carry a box, put a hole in it, and put something that allows light to come in and pass through the hole. Now, as technology evolved, of course, everything about computer vision started with studying the eye. Now, we have the optical nerves. And then, have you heard of something called the artificial neural networks? So, now, the artificial neural networks tries to imitate the part of the brain that has to do with vision. There's also something called the convolutional neural networks. Now, the convolutional neural networks, it's an extended part of the, an extended part. It's like you're building another layer or a more complex layer aside the artificial neural networks. Now, the artificial neural network simply tries to imitate the part of the brain that affects sight. But this part of this artificial neural networks affects how machines see. So you can simply put that ANN and CNN, they're like the brain of, they're like the brain components of machines when it comes to sight, like seeing. So let me just put it now. Whatever it is that has to do with images, I don't know if we've done a lot of work today. So whatever it is that has to do with images, uploads, visuals, just know that computer vision is involved. So you can even talk about your virtual reality. Yes, and then I would also so we'll be running one code lab. But before we get to that code lab, I just wanted to give more context. How many people here use Google Lens? Google Lens. Okay. So now the idea of Google Lens, like using Google Lens, right? It still boils down to computer vision. It's really, really broad. There's a lot of things that computer vision has to do with a lot of things. We would also talk about the RGB model, the grayscale. It's just a lot. So I would just give you a context, give us context. Now, when you carry your phone and you put it on, let's say I take my phone, I open Google Lens, and I put it on this, what's the name? anything, a card or anything, it's able to recognize it. So what it does is that it takes that card and then it tries to compare it with previous data. There's something called segmentation in computer vision or in machine learning and deep learning generally. Now, segmentation is divided into two. It's divided into semantic segmentation and instance segmentation. Now, semantic segmentation has to do, for instance, now I'm in this hall, and let's say that I see that there are more guys here. So let's say that we have 70 guys and 30 ladies. What would happen with semantic segmentation is that it would generalize all the guys as guys or male or whatever. And then instance segmentation would label every single individual. So let's say we're using A to Z labeling. So it will label A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now, semantic segmentation is mostly used because its effects can be felt in, self-driving cars. So one of the major tools that is used for self-driving cars is semantic segmentation. Because when I'm using a semantic segmentation model, and one of those models is called YOLO. Who knows what YOLO means? You can only look once. Thank you very much. So one of the models, which is YOLO, right? So what happens with self-driving cars is that what really happens is that so a model, right, is programmed to recognize living objects and non-living objects, animals and human beings. In fact, majorly living and non-living. So when you are using a self-driving car, right, and it sees a cat, it classifies it as what? Living. So it tries to bypass or something. But when you're going on the road and it sees just a normal stone, it can pass. Because it has been trained on already existing data. Now, the already existing data, which are data that have been previously labeled, previously studied, and then the model just like jumps on it and then try. That's exactly how Google Lens works. So there's already existing data. And then in fact, I use Google Lens, personally use Google Lens a lot. And then I try to recognize this thing. So it tends to like bring in other information from every other place. And it tends to like, how do you put it down? Like pair them and say, okay, this thing is a rat, this thing is a cow, this is an insect. I actually used it to recognize an insect recently. So I saw an insect at home and I was like, what's this? So I was just trying to like, what exactly is this, right? So every single thing that has to do with, even in your ChatGPT, in your Gemini, when you upload an image, what happens there is that computer vision models, which there are a lot, computer vision architecture, like it's really, really broad, but we also have, like I said, lots of models. I already mentioned YOLO, there's Deep Lab, there's Max RNN, there are just a lot, right? Now what happens when you upload an image is that a computer vision model recognizes those images as sequences, as colors, as pixels. And then when it recognizes those things, it is able to give you output. Okay, so, hello. Okay, so I think I already like explained some of these things. I also explained what computer vision and human vision are, semantic. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to jump into input, hidden, and output layer. They are found in ANNs. Then we also have convolutional neural network, like convolutional pooling. Yes, then we have machine learning. Before we go to the code lab, we have machine learning and deep learning. I already talked about self-driving cars. We have other ways that computer vision is used, like in face recognition, in logo detection, in, medical imaging, tumor detection. Now, I just want to quickly explain, I'm trying to really explain this concept so that, because what we're going to do is to use already existing APIs, that's vision APIs. Now, the difference between machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so computer vision is divided into three. It's divided into filtering, low level vision, and high level vision. So now what machine learning, so before machine learning, and remember I said that technology has advanced over the years. Now before machine learning came in, it was just that we're just trying to like recognize images and all of that, right? However, with machine learning, the process of filtering, they sort of like combined filtering and low level vision, right? And so after those two steps, the machine is able to take up the remaining steps. But the difference between machine learning and deep learning when it comes to computer vision, when it comes to image uploads, image processing, and computer vision, is that deep learning does not need the step called filtering. So with deep learning models, deep learning models are like subsets of machine learning, but they are more, it's like you're building something on top of something. So they do not need to go through the filtering steps because they already have filtering convolutional networks in them. And then they're able to like filter, go through the first level of vision and also go through the next step in terms of image processing. Yes, other ways that computer vision can be used, we have card recognition, object recognition, in vision, video processing and all of that. Okay, so let's go to the next. Yes, next. Okay, next. Okay, so I think earlier in the year, I did like a very small, just a very, very small, so I did like a small research, like very early in the year, comparing the three models. We like call them actual models because they are actually built on other things. Comparing Deep Lab, UNet, and Max RNN. And yeah, so you can, if you get the slide, you can take the repository and help me to start it. Thank you and God bless you. Amen. Okay, go to the next one. So basically, right, this is exactly how computer vision works. Now, when I was working on my research, I tried to use each model because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to check for precision, for speed and efficiency of the models. So I didn't run this one. I couldn't get the images of the one I did with those three model structures that I mentioned. So what computer vision does is that it's able to recognize person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4. Like every single thing. It's also able to recognize that. So when, for instance, you can see that it knows that this is a handbag. Now, the reason it knows is because this particular model is making use of pre-trained data. Because there are some models that are built on, like, they are built without any trained data. So what happens is that they throw out, if you see like a curve, the information or the data is sparsely shared around, like, because it recognizes this bag as, let's say, object A. But because this particular model has been trained, it knows that this is a bag, this is a person, this is a bag, this is also a person. Now, sometimes the models might not capture everything. For instance, it didn't capture this camera. But if you just throw it out and you say, recognize different things in this object or in this use cases for computer vision, even in terms of surveillance, security, office work, this license, plate numbers and all of that. Every single thing around cars moving on the road, controlling of traffic, even to the smallest thing about controlling of traffic and all of that, it still boils down to computer vision. Okay, so the next slide, please. Okay, yeah. I mean, this was my analysis, like a personal work I did, right? And I noticed that I was expecting YOLO to give me the best results. However, like in terms of accuracy, Max RCNN, which means Max Regional CNN, gave me like the highest results. And then I also used Deep Lab. Deep Lab is a model from Google. Okay, next. So there are many projects you can try out one of the easiest projects you can try out in terms of learning or getting. Okay, so if you're interested in learning like machine learning, computer vision, I think it's something that you use more often. So if it's something that is of interest to you, you can pick it up. So OpenCV is a package in Python, right? So when I use OpenCV, yes, like the name implies, open, and it just like it labels them. Now, this box, the previous slide, right? The previous slide had something like boxes. Those boxes are called bounding boxes, and they can also have labels called, labels like like I already said. So OCR, so there's Google OCR, there's Texteract, and many. Yes, I think I already explained what image and grayscale. Grayscale is like one and zeros, like black and white, black and white, black and white. Please, the next. So yes, I think I already explained how Google Lens works, but please just go to the next slide. So yes, this is Google Lens, right? And with the picture I try to create is how it works. Next slide. Yes, so what I did here, this very fine girl, I used like I told you, the reason I wanted to explain is because most of what we'll be doing are already existing APIs. Do not forget, models, when you need to consume these models, you use them as APIs, right? So here what I used was Google Cloud Vision API. So I will show you the results. So what I'm trying to do now is to detecting the type of dress. Basically, I upload this girl's picture. Like this is actually an image. And then I use Google Cloud Vision to just try to tell me everything about the dress, from the color to the kind of material. Like it goes down to the texture of the material. In fact, if I even wanted it to recognize the girl's face, and you know this whole idea of by the time it's done recognizing the whole picture, it can even rebuild the girl, like rebuild this same image. Might not be exact perfect like that, right? Next, please. Picture is very fine. I love the gown. Next slide. I know why this thing is not going. Some of you have been talking to your village people since morning. I told you to wait. Let me finish my session. I tell them that I'm speaking, that when I'm done, they can come back to you. This is serious, so. Okay. Hi. Ziba. See the next slide. Okay, so I'm just going to get it from my phone and then we'll continue because I know that time is not. Uh, yeah, I think you go to the next. Go down. Right. Okay. So this particular one is. So I already worked on it on my own device. I can actually run it on my device, but I just felt like putting the images here would be faster. So here I used, like I said, I used Google Cloud Vision majorly. Google Cloud, I didn't use the OpenAI actually. I wanted to use the OpenAI to create blobs, but I didn't get to that point. So it's like basically this installation stops here. So go to the next. So I know that we've gone through cloud, Google Cloud platform, right? Now, the next thing would be that after I've installed my Vision API, I would also call in the OS, that's like the environment variables, my credentials. So if you're actually running using Google Cloud on your system, so you have to like download the credentials either as a JSON file or you just copy the information. It's safer because it's a very delicate key. So it's safer when you download your credentials and add it to your folder as a JSON file. So just go to next. I mean, this is the image. This is like my image. Go next. To the next. To the next. So I also gave the model some keywords. You know that one of the major reasons Python is used, right, is because you can actually prompt like inside your code. Please, I'm missing the name. You know that those called not commenting, the other one. Sorry. Okay, so you know those three lines that looks as if you're putting. Sorry. Thank you. Yes, that's the name. Docstring. Thank you. I actually skipped my mind. So one thing about Python is that you can actually prompt it with. You can prompt your model inside your code base, right? You can prompt your model to act in a certain way. So now, in this case, I've given it keywords, and I've told it like these are keywords, and this is basically like fashion keywords and all. Go to the next. Yes. So after that was just a very simple code that if you run it exactly the way I showed it, you get exactly the same results. Now, tell me if the model is correct. First and foremost, the girl's dress is a dress, right? It's a gown. It tells me that it is pink and purple. Like it's a mixture of pink and purple, which is really true. Then it also comes to tell me the waistline of the girl. It's 4%. The bridal clothing, bridal party dress, blah, blah, blah. So it's saying that what she's wearing is more of a bridal party dress. And the whole description. Next. Go to the next. All right, great. So it's time for us to build our own vision. It's time for us to test out the Vision API. It's going to be very fast. So I think Obun and every other person, they've done the first part of helping us to set up our cloud space, like our Google Cloud space. So, okay, I have 5 minutes. So, go to the next slide. So you can just scan this QR code. The QR code. Okay, is everybody done? So go to the next slide. Sorry, okay, please go back to the QR code. Okay, go to the next slide. So this is the link. It's the same QR code. You can use this or you can use the link. So this will take you to the code lab that was supposed to run this afternoon, just so everybody has AI tool can be used. Many other, many models have vision capabilities. Next slide. Previous slide. Oh, you have seen meme, Abi. Please, previous slide. That was a miss. Don't worry, don't worry. So please, can you go out of this place and go to the code lab? So, okay. Just click on the link. Don't worry. Just click on this link. Actually, did you close the whole browser? Okay, click on the link. Did Yeah. Copy it. Yeah, click on it. Uh-uh. Eh? Are you sure it's not just put at the back? Oh, okay. You put on to do code lab. Oh yeah, I'm dropping. I should drop my mic. Okay, okay. Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming. So I see that some people are able to open it, right? So you see the results I was able to show you when I ran the whole bridal thing. Now for this particular model, what you'd be able to do is that you'd be able to detect a face, you'd be able to detect text in an image, you'd also be able to detect objects in an image. That's if you go through the code labo. Like I see that people are able to open it, and it's unfortunate because I already like worked on it, so I'll just like show you. Okay, they said that it's the URL that you should remove the hash tree. Hash tree. Just huh? They said it's network. It's network. Can you help me click on this, please? Hold on. Go to the next one. The next one. Next one. I just want to see the picture. All right. Please, when you get to your houses, just try it out. And I personally am very interested in computer vision. I just feel that there's a lot of attention on syntax models, like models that are able to convert text to speech and all of that. I'm sorry, to convert like text and prompts and all those things. And there's little, the emphasis on computer vision is quite less. And that field is very vast and it's also very interesting. So when you get home, you can play around with the code lab. You can also try to play around with Open CV. That's like the basics of it. If you're trying to get started with computer vision, that's like the basics of it. I mean, it's a very broad topic, right? Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Very beautiful session. Please celebrate her once again. Did you enjoy her session? You're not saying it as though you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy her session? Let's celebrate her once again. That was a fantastic one. And I promised I was going to show you something. Let's see if I can do that quickly. Okay. All right, guys, can we celebrate Buchi once again? Let's put your hands together for Buchi. Now, everything she was just talking about, this is practical experience. Now, this is where the technologies are moving. This is what we're saying. And this is as far back as 2017. So that's some very plenty years back. Some of us has even started our tech career as at when this happened. Now, but the world is moving that fast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because you have been here long enough, a few things. Dove, please. Please join me. Join me. Please put your hands together for Dove. Caleb. The man who has put his time and everything in making sure that this event goes smoothly. After now, Dove, we have given you permission to leave everything you're doing and take like 6 months of sleep. Take your time, sleep. And by the anointing upon my life, I don't know, is there any lady here who would like Dove to be? Dove, come now. Where did they wrong go? You don't even know what I want to talk. No, they run anything. All right, so Dove, come now, make I finish my statement. You don't even know what I wanted to say. So, is there any lady here who would like Dove to give us vote of thanks? I mean, why you get bad mind? Please, we'd like to take a vote of thanks from Dove. And then there are particularly one or two persons who who spotted that actually did a thing or two while the event was ongoing. And of course, we'd like to reward them by just giving them a little gift. And for the online, and so we'll take a vote of thanks. Of course, we may have put this together. The team may have put this together. GDG, Cloud Port Harcourt may have put this together. It might cost a lot of money coming from GDG and all that to make this happen. But trust me, it doesn't matter how much we put in. It doesn't matter how much resources, how much finance that goes in here. If we don't have you in this room, this program still won't be a success. So which means a more critical part of the success we recorded today is every single one of you who joined us here physically in the room, and those of you who are also joining us virtually. We want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you. We'd like to make this a sustainable program, and of course, please, what we had was a few persons who got the privilege to stand before us to lead the code labs. But the bigger part of the work has to reside with you because these programs are community-led. I want to see it sustained through you. Want to see by the time we come back next year, someone is going to say, just like many of us are reminiscing about this environment where our journey started and how much the community has given to us and how much we also want to commit to giving back to the community. Want to say a big thank you to the organizers, every single one of them, for putting this together. And a bigger thank you to each and every one of you for walking through, whether virtually or physically. Now, we'll just have Dove do a little bit of appreciation to a couple of persons. And please, we'll quietly, because the way we want to take the photograph, unfortunately, it's raining outside, so we won't be able to do that outside. We'll use the beautiful stairs that are provided here, so which means we don't need to rush out all at once. We'll take steps, and then we'll direct you on how to position for that. And immediately after that, hold on, guys. Immediately after the photograph, you will be handed your food, right? And they will open up for us to connect and to be able to network before we wrap up the section for today. Without much ado, I'd like to hand over the microphone to Dove to do. All right, so Abum, please join us. Yeah, we can do. All right, so we'd like to call in. No. All right. All right. Thank you so much. So this is the deal. We have a couple of gifts to go out, including some maybe, just maybe. Let me not say anything. So we're going to have a couple of gifts going out. So what we want to do is we'll go out and take our photograph. As you're returning to the room, you'll be handed your food. And then once you receive your food, you're at liberty to have your networking. Then we'll be playing some games so that we can be able to determine those who would go with our gifts. Is that okay with us? So we want to officially close out the session, go out, take our group photograph, return back, get our food, network, play our games, and enjoy the rest of the day. So once again, on behalf of the team, well, let's say a big thank you to the organizers, Philip Obiora, all the way in London, right? And is joining us to make this happen. Thank you so much, Philip. Thank you, Joy Akonolo. Unfortunately, Joy couldn't join us physically. Want to say a big thank you to Joy. And of course, the man who has made sure that his presence actually made this happen. We want to say a big thank you to Caleb Inidov. These are the organizers of this beautiful event that we are having here today. And so on that note, can we just quietly step out? No need to rush. We'll meet the photographer. Please, photographer. Still photographer, can you go out so that we're taking the photograph inside here at the foyer. You don't need to leave the door. At the foyer, we'll be able to guide you where to stand and where to sit. And then we'll do it on the stairs. So once you go out, start climbing the stairs. We'll arrange it from there so that we can take the photograph very quickly. Thank you so much. And once we're done, please retire back immediately after the photograph to get your food and then to network. And those who would like to stay for the games, you stay with us. We'll do the game very quickly and then present the gifts that we have. Thank you so much. And to everyone who led the sessions, all our speakers, thank you so much. God bless you for giving back to the community and for giving back to society. Do have a fantastic day ahead.